Hi, guys, and welcome back to Live and Learn with Livy. Clearly, I am fucking Livy. I am your host. Okay, so this week's episode, I knew I said I would come on here and stop being like so angry and just being like in a bad mood all the time. Bitch, I really feel justified for like the bad mood I'm in. And like, let me just like preface by saying the bad mood is more as if like if a man was in my face and said something dumb, immediately punched to the head. Like that's just the vibes that I'm feeling today, mixed with extreme sadness, like could cry at any second. And you're like, wait, Livy, why are you feeling this way? And like I'll deep dive on it. Honest to God, I didn't want to talk about it. I was just gonna like gatekeep. It's not even something to gatekeep. It's just like my own personal issues. But I was gonna gatekeep it. And then I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Let me just tell you guys everything that's been happening in my life because what do I do best? Overshare. I do really well just oversharing. And I was like, you know what? In a time of crisis, in a time of need, let a bitch talk her shit, okay? So I was like, let me address the elephant in the room. Okay, wait. Anytime I hear someone say, like, let me address the elephant in the room, my ears perk up. I'm like, please, dear God, don't be talking about me. Like, I don't know why my brain just does that, but I'm always like, what elephant in the room? Like, I always think that they're gonna just like, whatever. That's like so besides the point. You guys, I'm going through a breakup. No, it's heartbreaking. Listen, it's really not. The thing is, anytime I speak to a man and we don't talk anymore and like it's ended or anything like that, that is a breakup. You can't convince me that's not a breakup. I don't care if I knew the man for 2 weeks. I don't care if I knew the man for 2 days. Then actually, I'm technically going through several breakups. Okay, I'm going through a lot of breakups because anytime I end something with somebody or they're just no longer in my life, like that's a breakup. Like I don't know that's a breakup to me. So like I don't know what to tell you. So let me deep dive on the men that I've been dating because you're like, what are you talking about? So if you guys remember on my TikTok a while ago, like this was like at the end of February, I went on a date with a man, amazing date. Like we had such a time. Did we somehow find him like eating my ass on the second? I swear to you guys, this is not even funny, but I swear to you guys, every single time I'm like, whenever I like somebody and we go on a second date, somehow they're always eating my ass. Like I don't know what it is. And it's not like I'm asking for that. I never in my life have been like, oh my God, can you eat my ass? I've never once asked that. I've literally never asked that. And somehow, like I can count like on my hand 3 people that I've been on a date with that second date somehow they're eating my ass. I'm like, whoa, how did we get here? And my mom hates when I talk about these things. But I was just like, let's bring back midday matcha Livy. Like she would talk about this shit. But I'm always like, I don't know and the thing is, it's like, I'm not even sleeping with these men. I would say okay, you know what? Out of two out of 3 of the men, like I didn't sleep with, but I'm actually really insane and weird. Like I don't like sleeping with somebody right away. And I will do everything but sleeping with them. It's like, okay, you're letting a man eat your ass, but you won't sleep with them. I think I just have some sort of like, we know I have some sort of trauma, but I think it's more instead of like a trauma, I think it's just like maybe like a power thing where I feel like I still have the power if I didn't bust my legs open for it's like, but you were getting your ass ate. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean that you have the power still when like he was eating your ass? Like he might as well have just slept with you. But I don't know, something about that where I just like, and I'll be telling the stories to my friends at like a dinner and I'll be like, no, it was so good. Like we were doing this, and he was so sexy. It was so hot. And they're like, oh my gosh, like how was the sex? I was like, oh, I didn't have sex. Like I'm sorry. Why would you think I had sex with that man? She was like, you're literally detailing that he ate your ass. And I'm like, oh yeah, but we didn't sleep together. Like I didn't want to do all that. And my friends are like, I'm sorry, you did absolutely that man had his toes in your mouth and was like yelling your name, but you didn't sleep with him. I'm like, absolutely not. No, I didn't sleep with him whatsoever. Honestly, if we want to be real with it, like I haven't slept with anybody. Maybe that would fix my problem. It wouldn't. But I was like, I haven't slept with anyone over a year. Like, because to be honest, you know what? I'm a girl and there's like specific things that I do and don't count as sleeping with somebody. For instance, like I technically did have sex last March. Okay. I would not call that sex. I would call that a hug. I would say we had a hug naked. I would never in my life count that as sex. So I wouldn't even put him on the body count because that was a 1 minute hug. Okay. That was not sex whatsoever. Couldn't be me, honey. Could not be me. Yeah, absolutely not. So, and then before him, so that was last March. And then before him was, I think, October. Okay, I had a little instance in between there. Still didn't sleep with the man, but like whatever. And then I think it was like October. I don't know. Remember, it was like right when I came back from Italy. I low key vlogged. And I didn't vlog. I didn't vlog me doing it. I low key vlogged that. That man was in my vlog a little bit, but he was Sweet Green. If you guys remember Sweet Green, and I accidentally slept with him as well. Ugh, don't get me started. But like that wasn't good sex either. So like I barely count that one. So honestly, the last time I slept with somebody was my ex-boyfriend back in 2022, and that's what I'm just gonna start telling people because I don't have it in me to be like, oh well, there was this one man in March, but it felt like a hug. No, I'm like over that. Whatever. So that's just, I don't know how I got on that topic, but yeah. Okay. Back to me with my little boyfriend that I had for a quick minute there. Listen, I didn't on the first date, I was like, like I don't like this one. But we honestly had such a good time. And so I was like, no, I kind of like this one, but I was just more like, oh, it's giving like best friend vibe. It was giving best friend vibe until he ate my ass. And I said, that's not a best friend. I have never once looked at a best friend that could do that to me. Cause if not, whatever, that's a husband. Anyways. And we were talking for a while and it just came to a point where, okay, I've been doing something I've never done before where I'm very clear in my boundaries within dating. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so sorry. I know I do this every podcast episode, but like if I could actually, okay, I'm so sorry. Never get the Sony ZV-1. I know none of you are like, I would literally never get the Sony ZV-1, Livi. I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about. This camera is the worst camera I've ever had in my entire life. I want to throw it across the fucking room. You think I'm kidding? And I want to stomp on it. But you want to know why I can't do it? Because I'm going through financial hardships and we'll get into that in a moment. I want to tell you more about the man that just ate my asshole so we can get through that fucking story first. Anyways, I'm so sorry. Don't mean to be rude, but like I just hate this camera so much because it stops recording all the time. And if you're wondering why there's little times throughout the podcast where it's like a black screen, that's why. That's why, because this stupid camera. Okay, anyways, I'm grateful that I have it. I'm trying to tune into my gratitude as well. Like I'm trying to tune into like gratitude and it's really difficult. So this guy and I were like talking. I was super clear on my boundaries like very early on. I was like, bitch, listen, I'm going to be a wife this year. Like, I don't know how to tell you this, but like, this is the first time ever in my life that I decided I'm dating with intention and I'm dating to actually be in a relationship instead of just like dating you losers just because I'm fucking bored. So I was like, you know what? No, like I'm dating with intention this time around. Like I'm going to be dating with intention. So if you don't see like yourself in a relationship or anything like that, I'm not your bitch. Never been your bitch. And he was like, yeah, like I'm not really looking for like a long-term relationship. And I said, okay, perfect. That's so amazing for you. Why don't you go die? No, imagine if I thought it anyways. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And so then we were just like talking here and there from a little while. And then I was like, okay, so like this isn't going to be anything. So like, I don't know what I'm doing chit chatting with this man, but ends up, we stopped speaking. I didn't even take this as like this man ghosted me because it didn't feel as if I was ghosted. Trust me, I've been ghosted. It did not feel like I was ghosted in any sense of the way. It was more just like, okay, we're on two completely different pages and that's completely fine. Like I know I want something serious. This big fatty knows that okay. Stop saying that, Livi. He's not fat at all, okay? And even if he was, I would love him more. Anyways, and I was like, he doesn't want anything, and I know I want something. So I'm sorry, is 2 + 2 10? What do I look like staying around chit-chatting with a motherfucker who knows he doesn't want anything? No, absolutely not. I was like, okay, like, whatever. So we distance ourselves. Then he would, like, slide into my DMs, and I was like, I don't know what you're doing here necessarily. Like, I don't know who invited you to the DMs because like, there's no reason for you to be in the DMs, babe. Like, I don't know what you're doing here. We're not speaking, whatever. And then I get a really nice text message from him. Like probably one of the nicest text messages I've ever received from like anybody. It was a very sweet and kind text message. And in my head, I'm like, okay, so you're back. You want to get married. You want to do all these things. And he was like, I'm going to come visit you. I'm going to do all these things. So when you have a man who just recently told you like, no, I don't want a relationship. I don't want all these things like back in your life. I'm assuming, and you're talking to the bitch who was like, no, I'm literally getting wiped up this year. If it's not you, it's your brother. Like get the fuck out of my face kind of thing. And so I'm like, okay, so if you're back in my life, I'm assuming, and this is what you never do, ladies. You never assume a man has a brain cell because that's where you'll genuinely get fucked in the end. So I was like, okay, I'm assuming that if you're going to come back into my life knowing what I want, you're probably maybe maybe in the market to offer me what I want, or else you just came in to waste my time once again. And you know how everyone's always like, they always come back. They always come back. Not for me. They don't come back for me because they know I'm crazy and they know that I'm like not stuck in my ways, but I'm firm in my ways and I have boundaries that like, they know I'm not a bitch to fuck with. And they know that like, if anything, I will probably tell them off before like they come back. Like if a man comes back and is like, oh, actually like da-da-da, and wants to do the same shit that I just cut him off for, like, no. Like literally the last time I talked to one of my ex-boyfriends was like after he slept with me right after my cousin died, and it was so traumatizing, and like we never spoke again. And actually he did just add me on Snapchat like a couple years ago. Or like it was like 2 years ago. And I was like, what are you doing here? Like, you fucking loser. Anyways. And I've always stood by that. Like, the men in my life don't come back. They don't come back. This is not a normal thing. So I'm like, okay, so this one came back because he knew he was going to like act right. Bitch. No, this man came back, and I had to also have the conversation once again, a conversation I already had that was like, hey, I'm still firm in my boundaries, that like, I'm not just doing things casually this year. Like, I don't feel the need to go to Mexico with you and be super casual with you when I know I want a relationship in the long term. Basically, I'm not getting in a situationship with you because I know you're looking for a situationship. And I just have to reiterate, even the fact that I knew your bitch ass should be smart enough not to come back knowing that I don't want anything. Let me just reiterate it once again. This man's like, yeah, like I still don't want anything. To be fair, there's like outside factors as to like why we could never like be together or anything like that. So I have a little bit more grace for this one. This was the first one I met in a while that I was like, oh, I kind of like it. Oh, and to make my life harder and to make my life worse, every single TikTok tarot card reader was like, this is your man, Livi. Like that's basically what they said to me. And I know it's like, don't listen to the TikTok tarot card readers. Shut the fuck up. So just imagine how confused I am that every bitch on TikTok is telling me like, this one's the one, Livi, all these things. And then I have a conversation with the man who came back after like, you should know not to push my boundaries. Like, I'm not a bitch to have her boundaries pushed, whatever. Basically, I'm going through a breakup. Basically, that man's not my husband. Basically, yeah, I'm going through a breakup. I'm not going to lie. I was really sad the first day. And then I said, okay, next. Like, come on now. I was like, all right. And I do have like a little list of icks that I'll look back on when I'm like over a man or like done with a man, where I'm like, that one was a big ick. Why'd we stay? Why'd we stick around? Why do we want, like, you know what I mean? So I did do that. I'm not going to name them because I do have a fear that he's listening. So that's just that. But let me tell you guys about another date that I went on. And actually this date had me thinking like, okay, I think I'm stupid. Not stupid, but I was like, either I have early onset dementia or I don't give a fuck about this man. And the reason I say this is because we're on the date and he would like tell me something and then I would like bring it up 5 seconds later and he was like, oh, but like I just told you like da 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 da. And I was like, I'm sorry. I literally would forget what the man was telling me. And I was like, okay, I went on a date like a week previously and I was like, but I never forgot what that man said. Like I actually cared about that man. So now I'm like in my head, I'm at this like really cute little restaurant and this man, and it happened like 3 to 4 times. I'm like, bitch, I think I have early onset dementia. Like I must have early onset dementia because how do I keep forgetting that this man told me that he loves soccer or something like that? And I'm like, literally, and the man like kept talking to me and I'm just thinking to myself, no, something's deeply wrong with you, Livi, because why do you keep forgetting that this man just told you something 10 seconds ago? I'm losing my mind internally. It's a first date too. He keeps yapping about God fucking knows what. And I'm just sitting there like, I cannot believe this is how I find out I have early onset dementia by going on a date with this man. And like the reason that I can't, like, I just cannot remember anything that he's saying whatsoever. So I must have early onset dementia. That's the first thing I thought. Okay. Not once did it cross my mind that I did have a drink in me and I don't drink. So I could have been like maybe like a little bit tipsy, or overall, I could have just not gave a fuck about this man. I could have just not cared about this man whatsoever. And he was telling me these things and I was like, okay, Roger, like good for you. Like, do you want an award? And then he would ask me questions about myself and I wouldn't answer the questions. He would be like, oh yeah, so like why'd you move to LA? And then I would like get started talking about it and then I wouldn't fully open up. And I was like, wait a minute, am I okay? Like I was just like, and now looking back, I was like, okay, I think I just like wasn't enjoying the date that much. And I like didn't feel comfortable enough to open up because I was like, but the man I went on the date with the week prior, who I actually remembered what he was saying and would ask me questions, I'd get so deep with it. I would be like, do you want me to tell you about my father? That's like abandoned. You know what I mean? Not abandoned. What does that mean? Who abandoned me? Like I would tell that man anything, but like this man, I was one, forgetting things, and two, couldn't, and it wasn't like I didn't want to open up. I couldn't. I like could not. He would ask me a question and be like, well, can you like describe this? And I was like, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I can describe it. So anyways, I don't think I have early onset dementia. What I do think I have is I didn't care about him. I literally could care less about him. Anyways, this one, like, this was the weirdest thing ever. Cause this man was like, okay, like we had a date Thursday and he was like, let's do dinner Friday. And I was like, okay, normally I wouldn't do back to back, but bitch, I don't know. I guess I was hungry, but I was like, whatever, like this is fine. Ha ha. And then he had to cancel for something. And I was like, okay, asks me for my Instagram. Mind you, he knew what I did for work. Okay. He knew what I did for work and unfollows me on Instagram. Like asked for my Instagram just to unfollow me. And I was like, okay, listen, you might not be a fan of the content. That's completely fine. But don't ask for my Instagram just to unfollow it, you weird bitch. So I was like, okay, never speaking to this one again. And I was also like, maybe he got back with his ex-girlfriend because he did randomly bring up his ex-girlfriend a little bit. Like I knew she loved blow. Like I don't think anyone should ever be on a first date. Like why do I know your ex-girlfriend loved blow? You know? And I was just out there like, amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, good for fucking her, actually. Like, good for her. So I'm thinking, like, maybe they did get back together. That's what my intuition's telling me. Also, I've been psychic recently. I don't even want to, like, tell you guys about it, but I will. Erica, one of my best friends, just got into Northwestern's residency. Very big deal for her pharmacy school. Okay, I don't think I'm, like, ever pronouncing it correctly, but if you guys... Oh, I thought someone just knocked on my door. I actually would have lost my mind. But I don't... Sorry. Anyways... Erica got into Northwestern for pharmacy, residency, whatever. I don't ever pronounce anything correctly, especially not with like her. Unfortunately, I'm always like, yes, you're doing the damn thing. Do I really know what she's doing? Not really, but I'm so supportive regardless. But I hope Erica's okay with me telling this story. Anyways, she was like, her number one was not Northwestern for the longest time. And when she visited me, I literally told her, I said, I just see you at Northwestern. Like I just see purple around you. And I just see you at Northwestern. Basically a couple things happened. And she was like, no, like Northwestern's off the table, da, 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 da. And then it was getting closer to the date. And she was like, no, actually, I really do want Northwestern. But like, God, it's Northwestern's obviously like a very hard school to get into. And she was like, they only took 9. They never take people from like in Chicago. They hadn't taken anyone from her specific college that she was coming from for like 5-6 years. And I was like, I just know in my bones, you will be going to Northwestern. And she was like, I really want to, but like, I don't know, da, 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 da. The bitch got into Northwestern. I'm a psychic. I had another thing with another friend that happened that I can't tell you about because that would be me outing her. Psychic. I predicted it. So I just keep getting these little dreams and they will end up coming true. And I'm over here like, wait, that's so alarming. Like, that's so weird. Or I'll have very specific dreams and I'll have conversations with people in the dreams. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening over here? For instance, right now, I'll tell you guys this because whatever, maybe it'll happen. But one of my old hoes who now does my taxes, I just feel as if he's going to have a baby this year. I don't know what it I'm like not even like trying to be funny or anything like that. Like, I don't know what it is. And I told him, hey, like, I literally texted him and I was like, I actually texted him this specifically because I did have a dream. Him and I were like sleeping together. And I was like, I had a dream I slept with you. I was absolutely disgusted. Like it did make me want to throw up. And he was like, oh my God, I thought you were going to tell me you were like pregnant or something. And I was like, no. But what I am going to tell you is I think you will be having a baby this year. And he was like, why would you say something so horrible to me? I'm like, no, like I'm trying to tell you like to wrap it up because my psychic gifts are telling me that like you might have a baby this year. So you know what? I'll check in with you guys to like keep you updated if the man does have a baby. But like the psychic gifts I haven't been wrong yet. So like my tax guy better wrap his shit up because I really think he's having a baby this year. Okay, besides my tax man having a baby this year and like all my psychic gifts, let's talk about what I'm really dealing with. Basically, I'm trying, this is like an annoying topic because I do always get threatened to be sued or whatever when I talk about things like this. But basically, I had a management that I signed to when I moved to New York and I ended up letting them go, all those things, but I never had a brand deal in the time I was with them. And basically how my work works is that if I'm not doing a brand deal, like you get paid 30 to 90 days out. So let's say I'm receiving payments, so it feels like as if I'm getting paid, but if I'm not actively doing a brand deal, then like I'm not going to get paid. And so I was with them for like 4 months and like didn't have a brand deal with them. And like now I'm very financially stressed. And I'm just, yeah, honestly, like that's the best way to put it is like I am financially stressed because I'm just like, what the fuck? So now it's just me. Like, and even if let's say I signed a huge deal tomorrow, which like I probably will, who knows, it's still like, okay, well, that payment might come in like 3 months later. Like I don't have 3 months to wait kind of thing. So I'm just like trying to like figure it out right now. And like I don't even like talking about this because I don't like talking about money issues in general. Like it's something that I keep really private to myself, but it is something that has just been like stressing me out significantly. I think financial stress is like one of the worst stressors in life, genuinely. And I'm just like, I get to the point where I get like very annoyed with myself because I did leave my agency who was like amazing, getting me deals, all these things. And I just, yeah, like I do like taking risks and things like that. But at the same time, I'm like, I low key fucked myself so hard in this situation. And it's hard like not to be disappointed in yourself. And I know you're like, oh my God, like not an influencer crying about income. No, but it is something to be upset about. Like that's, if anyone wasn't working for like 3 months and you're not making money, you're like, well, what the fuck? And I don't want to be like in a position where I'm technically not working for like 6 months because like those 3 months I didn't have a deal. And then 3 months I'm waiting for something to come in. Like I don't want to, so it's just like a lot of financial stress that I'm dealing with currently. And like I'm going to figure it out and everything like that. But it just is like hard. Like it's a really hard, difficult thing because I've talked about like the financial issues that I've had in the past and like the financial mistakes that I've made. I'm probably in like one of the more beginning episodes on this podcast. And it just is like, okay, learn the lesson, Livy. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And it's like, even now I'm like, okay, the lesson is learned. Like, we're not going to do this shit again. Like, I've learned, like, we're good. Like, give me a paycheck. Damn. But now it's just like, I almost feel like I'm back in survival mode and not fight and flight, but survival mode. And I just hate being in survival mode so much because like, that's how I grew up. And it's just like, no one wants to be in survival mode or anything like that. And it's also just really hard because it's like, I love what I do so much and I don't want to look at anything else besides what I love to do for an income or anything like that. But now it's just like I'm just in a struggle period. Like if I'm being like so honest, like I'm just in a struggle period and I'm going to get through it. Everything's going to be fine, but it does just feel like super heavy because it's just like, come on, like why are we repeating it? And it's like, well, you didn't learn a lesson. So like maybe if you learned a lesson, you wouldn't be here. And I am very hard on myself. And I think that's just like life in general. I can just like be very hard on myself and I'm trying not to beat myself up too much over this because at the end of the day, was it in my control? No, not really. Like you just have to be careful with what you're doing in the industry that you're in, bitch. Like goddamn. But I get like a little defeated and like very down on myself for this and it just is overwhelming. But like on the positive, I've met with people that I love and like agencies and managements that I love. And yeah, but that's been like a very big thing the past couple days has just been like the financial stress of it all. Cause I mean, it happens at the first of every month. It's like, okay, paid rent. And then it's like, and then you just like look and you're like, wait a minute, this is not where I expected to be financially. And I'll be okay. I'll be fine. It just is like, fuck, this is annoying. And it's also like, you should have learned your lesson. I know I keep saying that. Like, you should have learned your lesson the first time. And it's like, well, you know what? I'm learning. I'm growing. And I expect more from myself. Like, yes, I am only 25, but like, I expect more from myself as a 25-year-old. Like, because I've lived a lot of life. I've been through a lot of things. Like, I've expected myself to like learn these lessons and not have to repeat these cycles. Do you know what I mean? But even with the financial thing, now I'm like, okay, I finally got the lesson. Like I got the lesson in the universe. Like we don't need to do this to me again kind of thing. And also like, I feel like I broke a cycle within dating as well by like really being strict on my boundaries with like that man I just broke up with and being like, no, like I still want something serious. So like, if you're going to come back in my life and not give me anything serious, like I'm going to there's the door, bitch. And here's one thing I really want to talk about is like, it is self-respect isn't easy. Like having self-respect and being like, no, I know my value. I know my worth. I'm not going to fall into a situationship with this guy just because I like him and he's saying pretty words and he's doing pretty actions, but he told me that he doesn't want a relationship. And I know outside factors, like we could never date or anything like that. I'm not going to sit and waste my time with a man like that because of the fact that like he's just blocking every other man that I'm like, what if I was like, he's blocking the train I want ran on me. No, but like he is blocking the energy of like someone good and someone like positive coming in, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm over that. I'm over the era of my life where just because I like someone and I have such a good connection with them that like I'm making excuses for them and like giving them all the benefit of the doubt and everything like that and still seeing them and all these things. And I think it would have even been harder with this man because he was so like, let me refresh your flowers. Like, let's go on trips together. Let me see you. I'm coming to visit you. All these things like by his actions and his words, like that I would assume like, yeah, we're going to end up in a relationship together. But like knowing that we couldn't, I was like, well, what the fuck are you doing? But then I looked at myself and I was like, this actually has nothing to do with him and everything to do with me. Like, this is my choice. This is my decision. If I'm going to entertain it, I'm just going to prolong like me actually meeting someone who is really great and really amazing. Like, yeah, this guy's really great and he's really amazing. But like, he can't give me what I want. So what am I staying for? You know? And it just made me realize like the difference between being in a situationship and not being in a situationship is just self-respect. At the end of the day, it's just fucking self-respect, because if you respect yourself enough and you have boundaries within yourself, like you're not going to settle for something or settle for someone who's not giving you what you know you want and what you know you deserve. Like I'm not gonna, it would have been so easy for me to be like, fuck it, like let's go to Mexico. You know what I mean? But it was like, no, I'm standing firm in the boundaries of like, I know what I want. And I'm standing firm in those boundaries. And it's like, head up, bitch, firm in those boundaries. But like, genuinely, I just think situationships are just a lack of respect for yourself. Because if you have respect for yourself, you're not going to let someone come in your life and treat you like a maybe. Like nobody in this world is coming in my life and treating me like a maybe, bitch. And because I'm 1,000% sure of myself, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I want out of life, and I've known how much I've done in my life and how much more I wanted to in my life. I'm not going to bring someone in who's like, like you're great, but like I don't want anything long term. But like I'm going to act like we're in a relationship and I'm going to do all these things. No. Oh my God, I don't care how good you eat my ass, babe. No, there's the door. Like I'm just over it. Also, wait, this is so random. I had a date scheduled with this other guy, and like I ended up like not hearing from him, and I was like, and when I met me back to being like, I'm psychic, you fucking idiots. Anyways, but back to the dating aspect of it, and I had like a weird feeling about him, and I remember asking my friend like, is he very ugly? And she's like, no, he's very cute. But I was like, I don't know what it is. I just have like such a weird feeling about this man. I couldn't shake it, and I ended up not hearing from him about the date, which I was like fine with, because I couldn't shake this weird feeling I had about him. Literally yesterday, get an email from Hinge. Hey, had to remove one of your matches because of like da 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 da. It was him. I said, not me clocking that fucking tea on that loser. Like I did just have like the bad feelings about him. And I was like, wait, literally not me clocking that tea and being an actual psychic. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. But I'm low-key, I am taking a break from Hinge just for my breakup. Like just because I'm going through my breakup. I might be back on it this weekend. I might never be back on it. Like who knows? But like I am taking a break from the app because my breakup, you know, like I feel like it's time to heal more and deal with my breakup as one should. Anyways, thank you. And the breakup, I'll probably be over. I really technically am over it, but logistically speaking, yeah, this weekend will feel better and I can like be back on the app. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I just love to do that to myself, where I'm just like, I'm going through a breakup. Okay. I'm going through a breakup. Anyways, I have been feeling so emotionally drained recently. Like it's not even funny. I talked about this in my YouTube video this week, but I had my mom visit and then I had one of my friends visit, and I am now thinking that I'm very sensitive to energy or something. You're like, okay, woo woo, bitch, damn. But I am, because even like I don't drink, and I still felt as if I was having like an emotional. Has anyone felt this? Like I need someone to like speak up and be like, no, Livi, you're not alone. Like we've all had emotional hangovers. Like it almost. I guess because like I'm used to just being in my space and like being by myself, that like it genuinely felt as if it was like an emotional hangover. And I was like, wait, what is this? Like, what is this? Because I'm not used, like, I always just thought it was from drinking. Like, I never thought it was just maybe I was like overextended myself and like I've done too much. But I am a very sensitive person in that way. Like, and I know that I do like my alone time and like I like to be by myself because that's where I thrive. But I didn't realize how significant it was for me because I don't know. It like genuinely felt as like Sunday was not a good day. And I was on my period too. So I was like, oh my God, like double homicide. You know what I mean? Like emotional hangover and the period, like literally double homicide. But can you guys let me know if you deal with emotional hangovers? Because like I am currently just getting over my emotional hangover. So like let me know because I'm over here like, well, what the fuck was that? Okay, that's gonna be it for this week's episode, mainly because my camera keeps dying and I'm gonna lose it, but you're like, stop talking about the fucking camera. Like, actually, nobody cares. But I love every single one of you. Also, I really want to stop swearing. Like, I really do feel as if I need to stop swearing, and I need like a swear jar or something, or like maybe it's like she stops swearing, she buys a Birkin. You're like, no wonder you're having financial issues. You just said buy a Birkin. No, I would never buy a Birkin. I think they're ugly in general, but. I love every single one of you. Let me know if you guys like the more chatty podcast episodes more than the like believe in yourself one. You know what I mean? We like variety around here. We like a little mix of both, but love every single one of you. Have a great day, night, evening. Whenever you're listening to this or watching this, make sure to subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys and I love you. Bye.